Few people realize this, but every time you say "I am," you're activating a code. It's not just a common expression, it's an energetic key that connects directly to the creative source. And whatever comes after it becomes a vibrational command. When you say "I am poor, I am unlucky, I am limited," you're telling the universe exactly how you want to be treated. And the universe, without judgment, simply obeys. Words carry frequency, and frequency shapes form. That's why speaking with intention is much more than a technique. It's an act of creation. What you declare consciously, you shape in the invisible. And what is shaped in the invisible, sooner or later, manifests in the visible. In ancient spirituality, words were treated as sacred instruments. Every sound, every expression had weight, purpose, and power. The great masters knew this. They knew the voice wasn't just a channel of communication, it was a channel of creation. And "I am" was the starting point of transformation. When you begin to declare, "I am abundant, I am prosperity, I am divine wealth in manifestation," you're altering your vibrational identity. You stop playing the role of the victim and step into the role of the creator. And when that happens, the field shifts, the energy shifts, reality begins to shift. That's why, before anything else, observe what you've been affirming about yourself, because the phrase you repeat today will become the life you live tomorrow. Among the many spiritual masters who touched the veil of the invisible, Germain stands out as one of the most enigmatic and powerful. Known as the master of spiritual alchemy, he left teachings that go far beyond the material world, and one of his greatest secrets involves the conscious use of affirmations. Not as empty phrases tossed into the wind, but as divine commands that precisely reconfigure your frequency. Germain taught that "I am" is the sacred name of God in action. When you use it, you're not just saying something about yourself. You are invoking the very divine presence that dwells in everything, including you. That's why your words are not just declarations, they are spiritual decrees. He taught that when you say with faith and intention, "I am God's wealth, blowing into my life," you are literally moving the universal substance that shapes all things. You are calling prosperity to come, not from outside, but from the creative center that exists within you. These affirmations don't just operate in the mental field, they cut through energetic layers, dissolve limiting beliefs, and access frequencies of abundance that most people never even touch. That's why they're powerful. And that's why they must be used with awareness, with truth, with presence. Germain's secret wasn't just hidden knowledge. It was daily vibrational practice. The sacred repetition of words that open portals, transform destinies, and connect you with a source of wealth that never runs out. Often, the real power of affirmations isn't born in comfort. It rises in the limit, in the chaos, in the rock bottom. It's when everything seems lost, when life slams its doors shut, when pain tightens the chest, that the soul screams. And in that scream, strength is born. Some people discover powerful affirmations in moments of inspiration, but most find them in desperation, when there's no more visible way out, when the outer world collapses. The only way is to turn inward. And it's in that deep inner dive that words begin to carry a new meaning. Saying "I am prosperous" while surrounded by debt isn't just faith, it's energetic rebuilding. It's rising in the middle of the darkness and declaring that the light still exists. It's looking at a world falling apart and affirming, with the soul's firm voice, "I am abundance," even when everything says otherwise. These moments don't weaken your connection with Source. On the contrary, they purify it, because the affirmation born from pain carries a different fire. It doesn't come from the mind, it comes from the spirit. And that's why it works. Because it's real, because it's raw, because it's felt deep in your being. So if today you're at your limit, know this: This might be your turning point. Your most powerful affirmation might be waiting for the moment you finally stop just repeating and start declaring with a heart on fire. This affirmation carries a silent, absolute spiritual force. It doesn't just speak of prosperity, it activates the source of infinite abundance. When you say, "I am the wealth of God descending into my hands," you're not begging, not wishing, you're accepting. You're allowing the divine flow which already exists to materialize in your reality. This phrase is a direct invitation to the universe. It's like opening your hands in faith and saying, "I receive what is mine by divine right." When you repeat it with intention, you are saying there is no separation between you and the creative source, that God's wealth is not far away, not out of reach. It is on its way, it is flowing, and it knows exactly how to find you. The beauty of this affirmation lies in the image it brings. Wealth descending, gently, straight from above, from the source, not by human merit, not by blind effort, but by connection. Because you've understood that when you align with the divine, everything flows with ease. Repeating it daily is like leaving the door open for blessings to enter. It's like releasing the weight of control and allowing abundance to find the best way in. And the most powerful thing is that this phrase transforms not just the external, but the internal. It retrains your subconscious, dissolves resistance, breaks old scarcity patterns, and reminds you every day that prosperity is a state of alignment, not of struggle. This affirmation carries a subtle but profound difference. Here, you're no longer just receiving divine prosperity, you're becoming an active channel for it. When you declare, "I am the wealth of God in action," you are affirming that abundance is not something that just comes. It flows through you, moves through your actions, expresses through your presence. This is the phase where vibration becomes movement, where you don't just feel rich, you act like someone who trusts in abundance. Your words change, your habits change, your choices stop being based on fear and begin to be guided by true prosperity consciousness. This affirmation changes your posture toward life. It takes you out of the waiting room and places you in the space of co-creation. You start to realize that God's wealth acts through your ideas, in the opportunities you attract, in the way you respond to challenges. It's as if the universe says, "Now that you know who you are, use it." And when that awareness settles in, the flow accelerates because money, opportunities, solutions, everything you seek begins to approach the one who is ready to manifest. Through aligned action, prosperity is movement, it's expansion. And by declaring this phrase, you take on the role of not just receiving wealth, but multiplying it wherever you go. This affirmation is different. It doesn't just speak of prosperity, it speaks of destiny, of divine protection, of a path that once activated can no longer be blocked by anything or anyone. When you declare, "I am the open door no one can shut," you are affirming that a greater force is guiding your steps, opening possibilities, and keeping them free from interference. This phrase is a spiritual shield. It breaks sabotage patterns, repels envy, cuts through vibrations of fear and doubt. It's like saying to the universe, "I trust my path, and I know it's blessed, even if my eyes can't see it yet." It acts as a decree of continuity, of strength, of steady forward motion. When used consciously, this affirmation helps keep your frequency steady in uncertain times. It reminds you that what is yours by divine right is already in progress, that the doors opened in the spiritual realm don't depend on external circumstances, and that no opposing force can interrupt what was initiated by the energy of I am. This is the key to vibrational commitment, a reminder that even when it feels like nothing is moving, everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Because once the door opens, the flow of prosperity doesn't stop. In a time when almost No one talked about affirmations, energy, or co-creation. A woman quietly proved that all of it was real. Her name was Helen Adsel, and her story is one of the most impressive ever recorded about the power of the mind and words. With no major resources, no fame, no influence, Helen won dozens of contests, cash prizes, trips, valuable items. All of it manifested through a method that at first glance seemed too simple to work, but it did, repeatedly. What did Helen do? She wrote exactly what she wanted, with clarity. She detailed it, felt it, visualized it. Then she folded the paper and placed it under her pillow. Every night before sleeping and every morning upon waking, she would affirm out loud that it was already hers. And the most powerful part of all this is that she didn't just say it. She believed it, she vibrated it. She acted as if she had already received it, and so she did. This woman wasn't just playing with words, she was connecting to the source, turning the invisible into reality through the power of directed consciousness. It wasn't magic, it was alignment. It was faith, applied with intention. Helen didn't use her mind to wish. She used it to create, and that's the difference between those who dream and those who manifest. She knew that words without emotion are empty, and that emotion without direction is scattered. So she united both. She affirmed with clarity and felt it with truth. Helen's story is a reminder that it doesn't matter where you come from or what you have now. What matters is what you choose to affirm, what you decide to believe, what you vibrate every single day, even when no one sees. Because the universe sees, and it responds. It always responds. Affirmations are not just beautiful phrases you repeat out of habit. They are vibrational commands, energetic seeds that, when launched with intention, begin shaping your reality in the invisible. But for them to truly work, three elements must be present: intention, repetition, and alignment. Intention is the heart of the affirmation. It's what gives life to the words. There's no use in saying, "I am prosperous," with doubt in your chest or distraction in your mind. The phrase needs to come with presence. It needs to carry the energy of someone who believes, someone who already feels what hasn't yet arrived. Repetition is what opens the way. It's like carving a new path in your mind. Every time you affirm something with truth, you are reprogramming your subconscious, replacing old patterns with a new vibrational identity. And the more you repeat with awareness, the stronger this new frequency becomes. But it's alignment that truly sustains the process. It's when thought, feeling, and action walk together. It's not enough to affirm one thing and act in the opposite direction. The vibration must be coherent. When you think, feel, and act like someone who already has it, you enter the creative state. And in that state, the universe has no choice, it responds. Powerful affirmations work like keys, but they only open doors when used with faith and consistency. You don't need to see results right away. You just need to hold the frequency. Because when you maintain the right vibration, the universe takes care of the right timing.